Jesus Helguera is one of the greatest Mexican painters of all time. Nació en el 28 de Mayo in 1910 in Chihuahua, Mexico, growing up in Mexico City and then Veracruz. He may be one of your favorite artists, but you might not connect his work to his name. Not yet. Mostly painting oil on canvas, Helguera's amazing work is probably most famous to you on calendars, lowrider art, or even tattoos. His work is a celebration of Aztec mythology, Mexican history, and Mexican pride and culture, and much, much more. Clearly, Helguera is a master artist. Helguera painted one of the most important moments in Mexican history, El Grito de Dolores, on September 16, 1810, the birth of the Mexican independence from Spain by Father Hidalgo y Costilla. ¡Que viva Mexico! Even more important and famous is the apparition of the Virgen on the Guadalupe on Mount Tepeyac, in front of the poor neophyte Juan Diego. She has become a national symbol in Mexico and much of Latin America. Nicknamed La Morenita y La Reina de Mexico. And after meeting with Jesus' mom for 4 times, speaking in Nahuatl, the language of the Mexica you know as the Aztecs, the Virgen instructed Juan Diego to tell the bishop of her visit. When Bishop Zumarga didn't believe and asked for proof, La Virgen told Juan to gather the roses on the hill and take them to the bishop. He did on December 12th, and when he lowered his tilma, when he lowered his cloak, the flowers fell onto the floor, and the image of La Virgen appeared on his cloak. Today, this image hangs in the Basilica in Mexico City. One of his masterpieces is the legend of the Volcanoes. It tells the Mesoamerican narrative of 2 of the most famous peaks in Mexican history, Iztaccíhuatl and Popocatépetl. 2 cross-starred lovers were madly in love with each other, but the couple was tricked. Iztaccíhuatl died under the false news that Popo was killed in battle. He took her body to build a shrine on the hillside. They both died, and as the snow covered their bodies, they would take the form of the mountains. The volcano on the left is named after the female, Iztaccíhuatl, or white women. The volcano on the right is named after the warrior, Popocatépetl, or smoking mountain. And this artwork is absolutely incredible. It's extremely popular. And by the way, my ex-girlfriend looks exactly like that on the left. Here is the legend of the volcanoes part 2. And the story ends in the same way. The legend of the volcanoes is an important Tlaxcala y Mexica story. Azteca Greatness, Oil on Canvas, 1965. Another masterpiece. It's a beautiful veneration of Aztec mythology. And as you can tell, Mexicans used to be all ripped. We were buff as a people. And as a people, I don't know what happened to us lately. We're less buff. Maybe it's the tamales or other carbs. I'm not really sure. I always forget the name of this one, but I think it's called Must Be Nice. The Catholic ritual of baptism, an incredibly important sacrament in Mexico's Catholicism. The parents and the padrinos, and look at that cheeks on that freaking baby. And look at that cheeks on the guy on the left. Maybe it's his tío, Cachiton. La Patria y el Niño. It's one of my favorites. Patriotism and the boy. With Iztaccíhuatl and Popo in the background. Again, some of the most famous peaks in Mexico. This is absolutely an incredible image of Mexican nationalism, symbolism. This goes across multiple generations. And my mom said that when she was a youth in school in Mexico, image was placed on all her textbooks. Little by little, reminiscent of an agrarian Mexico with corridos y todo. The painting has always reminded me of Linda Ronstadt's 1987 smash album, Canciones de mi Padre, the best-selling non-English album in the United States, winning a Grammy and selling more than 2.5 million albums. Que laures tan verdes. For sure. This is another amazing work of art. The majestic, unity, preparedness, hard work will make Mexico great. This is excellent wartime propaganda. Go Allies! Viva Mexico! The female image of Mexico and the hard-working man of the Izucade Tire Company, which is still in existence to this day. They're on Facebook, check them out. The industrial and social capital of Mexico. And the parallels of dynamic symmetry with Jesus Helguera's tire workers. Very MC Escher. Amor Indio. More Aztec romance and mythology, this time with a deer and a bow, which is a gift from Huitzilopochtli. And totally ripped y todo. Check it out. Even this guy's knees are ripped. And this lady looks like my tia before the operation, but another romanticized Aztec mythology. The blessing of the animals, oil on canvas. This is an incredible event. You should definitely see one of these if you get a chance. They happen all over the world. People bring all their pets to get blessed with holy water. Helguera is equally famous for his countless portraits of women with great commercial success. Very romanticized and often hypersexualized and embellishing the traditional quote-unquote Mexican female look. It's really the embellishment of the Adelitas and creating a new Mexicana narrative, whether it's true or not. It becomes molded into the truth, or at least a popular conception of what a 20th century agrarian Mexican looks like. Oye, mira. Mira. The works of Jesus Helguera. Oh, by the way, my ex looks exactly like this, but I had to let her go. More splendid and hyper romanticized art. The Aztec past on the left, the Mexican ranchero on the right, and their two lovers sitting on a feathered serpent in front of Xochipilli. The Mexica deity of love, the arts and dancing, the prince of flowers, and the Aztec warrior again. By the way, I don't work out, but my chest looks exactly like this. Campesinos Mexicanos. Even before the arrival of the invaders, overwhelmingly most Mexicans were farmers. Mexico is the home of many great things, including maize, vanilla, tobacco, spirulina, tamales, tortillas. atole, much, much more. These are bred and born in Mexico, in a sense of pride to this day. This is a great work reminiscent of the founding of Mexico Tenochtitlan after the Aztecs trekked it for 200 years from Aztlan. Jesus Helguera's work epitomizes and romanticizes Mexican history and culture. His work bleeds nationalism, daily events of Mexican life like marriage and baptism, and family, and love and beauty. A side of Mexico I hope to see more of. This is the works of Jesus Helguera.